Hello everyone. Today we're going to be looking at conditionals. Okay. So first, some people will have a question. And that question might be, what is a conditional? Okay. So a conditional sentence is a sentence that expresses a condition. Okay. A condition is something that can only happen if another thing happens. All right? So let's look at that more. There are 5 types of conditionals or conditional sentences, but today we will look at just 3. The zero conditional, the first, and the second. So the zero conditional simple form is if plus present simple verb da 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 present simple verb. Example, if you listen, you learn. The first conditional is if plus present simple plus will because it's something that will happen in the future, and the infinitive form of the verb. So, for example, if it is hot, I will go to the beach. The second conditional is if plus past simple form of the verb would, okay, because it's a hypothetical, plus infinitive. So, example, if I was stronger, I'd be a superhero. All right, you're going to see more of that theme a little bit later. So let's take a closer look at the zero conditional. So the form is if plus present simple, da 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 da, present simple. And this form of conditional begins with an if or a when. Usually like this. We can flip it and do it the other way, and I'll show you that in a second. Is always true. Okay, so if one thing happens, the other thing always will. Damn it! Why now? Not now. It's the wrong time. I'm recording a video. Ugh. Anyways, where was I? Is always true. Okay? The condition depends on the premise, and I'll explain quickly what a premise is. Actually, I won't explain, I'll just show you. Okay? So, first, if it rains, okay, this is the premise. This is the thing that would happen, okay? And the condition, this is the condition. What follows depends on the condition. So if it rains, things get wet. So the premise is if it rains, and what happens? Things get wet. Another example, when I'm hungry, what do people do when they're hungry? Usually they eat. So we're going to be thinking that they eat in this case. When I'm hungry, I eat. What is the premise? I'm hungry. What do? I eat. All right? And the next one, if I have money, I spend it. Okay? This is not true for everyone, but for this particular person, it is true. So the premise is, if I have money, and what do? They spend it. All right? And you can flip this, and it means the same thing. For example, things get wet if it rains. I eat when I'm hungry. I spend money if I have it. Okay? Good. Now, let's look at the first conditional. This formula is if plus present simple and will, the future, plus the infinitive. Okay? Now, these conditions are dependent on these. That sentence made no sense, but I'm going to keep going with it anyways. So the condition, the premise, if plus present tense. It expresses something that might happen dependent on the premise. Now remember what the premise is. The premise has to happen first. So for example, if it rains, okay, I'm going to use the same type of sentences as before, so you can see the different structures. I will not play outside because it's the future, right? So the premise is, if it rains, and what will happen? I will not play outside. It depends on if it rains, okay? If I get hungry, maybe you guessed what the next thing is? I will eat, right? So the premise is what? If I get hungry. And then what happens if I get hungry? I will eat. All right, next one. If I get money, okay? I know all of you can tell the future, so you know what's going to happen next. If I get money, I will spend it. So the premise is if I get money, and what happens, I will spend it. All right? And we could flip these as well. I will not play outside if it rains. I will eat if I get hungry. I will spend it if I get money. Or I will spend money if I get it. All right? So next. Finally, we have the second conditional. If plus the past simple and would plus infinitive. All right? These are more imaginary or something that might not be able to happen. All right? So this is used to express things in the future that are unlikely to happen and used to express an idea that is not true because it is impossible. All right? So let's look at a couple examples. If I were president, which is very unlikely to happen, I hope it happens. I think I can do a better job than the American president now, okay? Or whatever. Anyways, if I was president, I would fix the system, all right? So I would fix the system if I were president. The premise is if I were president. And what would I do? I would fix the system. It depends on me becoming president. So very unlikely, all right? Another one. If I were Matthew, I would be Superman, okay? Both of these are well, it's impossible for you to be Matthew, and Superman is also impossible, but we are not arguing about the validity of the logic, okay? It's not about argumentation, it's about sentence structure, okay? All right, next one. If I knew the future, I would be a thousandaire, okay? So what's the condition? Knowing the future. And what happens? You become a thousandaire because you know what's going to happen. So you know the markets and everything. You can invest your money, make a lot of money, and become a thousandaire. Okay? So I hope this can help you understand some things about conditionals. I think most people know it anyways. This is just a reminder. All right? So I would like you to practice on page 12. Okay, we're going to do this together. All right, that's it. Thank you for listening.